There's no doubt about it that Pressure is the most successful Doors-inspired game to ever be released, so naturally people are going to begin comparing the two and debating which one is better. Now all of these videos right here, they're all pretty great, but they focus on one thing in particular, the actual aspects of the game, such as the scenery, soundtrack, and overall atmosphere, that makes these games fantastic. I wanted to take a different approach on this topic and instead take a look at the difficulty of these games. And what better way to compare difficulty than to pit the monsters of each of these games against each other in a one-on-one battle to the death. Yay, I won! In each round, a game will receive a point based on which monster representing the game is more difficult. Now, the decision is made by me, as well as the matchups, and I'm someone who's very experienced in dying in both of these games. So if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below. Let's see who's gonna win! So what better way to start off this battle than with probably the most recognizable Doors character, Rush, versus his counterpart in Pressure, the Angler, and I guess all of his forms too. Now in concept, these portable network graphics are all practically identical. Just go down the hallways, break all the lights, and hope to catch you not hiding. So we can call it a draw, right? Wrong, because one of the Angler's forms single-handedly raises his difficulty. Probably guessed it, it's Pinky. Now Pinky functions the exact same as these two, but he doesn't flicker the lights before attacking.
And who was flickering the lights?
Not me.
And this is a key feature that helps players determine when to hide, so it makes it much easier to get caught off guard if you're not listening closely. So the Angler is going to be taking the point home in this round. Wait, what's that sound? Ambush isn't too happy about losing in that round, so he's going to be competing against Frogger in the next round and hopefully winning the point back. So Ambush chose his opponent wisely because Ambush can do this, while Frogger can only do this. Since Ambush just attacks more times in general, is more difficult to deal with because then you gotta get out of the closet multiple times, whereas with Frogger, sometimes you can get away with not even leaving the closet at all. So now the score is set at 1-1. Thanks to all that brawling that they just did, now we have dark rooms, perfect for the next battle to take place. Can we get a flashlight here so we can see? Oh, Jesus! So, anyways, let's get straight into the next round with the Screech versus the Squiddle. When it comes to difficulty, these two are a little bit difficult to compare because they're so different in concept. Screech decides to whisper close to your ear and then go full-on Mike Tyson on you. Well, the Squiddles are just like basement dwellers that can't stand the light. So I believe that the Screech is slightly more difficult just because he's always a threat as long as you're in a dark room. You just have that overlying fear that he's gonna appear. And this doesn't really apply for the Squiddles just because of how easy they are to avoid. You can just flick your light in a different direction, use a black light or a flash beacon, and easily prevent them from jump scaring you. So Screech is more difficult and he's going to be taking this point home for Doors. Alright, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, the most popular character in Doors. Introducing Seek, and he's going to be taking on the Wall Dweller. Who wrote this script? So you could probably tell I was running out of ideas for matchups for Seek since he's such a unique character. So I just decided to pick the person that looked the most like him. So in terms of their battle, Seek will hunt you down like Usain Bolt, while the Wall Dwellers can also be compared to Usain Bolt, just in the opposite direction of you after being startled. Jokes aside, it's much easier to die to Seek's chase sequence than to a Wall Dweller because of how high-paced and high-pressure that the sequence is. And it's very easy to get unlucky with which way you choose, and he can easily catch you because of that. Now with Wall Dwellers, while they can always be there, they're considered secret monsters in the wiki, and there's a chance that you never run into them in a run. And if you think you are being chased by one, all you have to do is like look back periodically when you enter a room, and then you can scare them away. It's not that hard. So Seek is going to be winning in this round, bringing the score to 3-1 in Doors' favor. But you won't be able to take your eyes off the next battle, because in the next battle is going to be Eyes versus Eyes, but he has an infection. Alright, let's be real for a sec. Infestation just demolishes Eyes in this battle. They're the same concept, you look at them, they damage you, but Infestation is the one forcing you into his gaze to actually damage you. Whereas Eyes just kind of sits there, minding his own business, and as long as you don't look at him, he doesn't care, and he can't hurt you any other way. So, Infestation absolutely wallops Eyes in this battle, bringing the score to 2-3. But the pressure is still on.
Brother, this
Oh, wait, don't leave. In the next battle, we got the amalgamation from the good people from Pressure versus Dupe indoors. Now, these two are both aspiring actors to play their dream role of being a fake door, and one just does it better than the other. And the one that does it better is good people, because unlike Dupe, who can't even get the right numbers, good people hides behind the same number door that is the one you actually have to go to. So if you use your Einstein brain, you can figure out which door to go to and completely avoid Dupe by just keeping track of what door number you're on. And if you don't happen to have an Einstein brain, then you can just listen closely for growling, as Dupe does growl. And while good people does the same thing, he just doesn't mess around and will kill you a lot faster than Dupe can. Thanks to good people's great acting skills, he just won the point for Pressure, which means the score is now 3-3. Absolutely astonishing comeback from Pressure. Can they keep it up with this next round with the Pandemonium versus Halt? Yeah, you can definitely tell I was running out of ideas here, because these two are not related at all. So Halt is a kind gentleman who just tells you politely what to do, and as long as you listen to him, he cannot hurt you. It's only when you don't listen to him that he gets angry. The same cannot be said for the Pandemonium, as he's a loud and rambunctious savage that will fling you around in your locker. He will bang on your door to get in. He does not have any manners whatsoever. So Halt wins. In a world that isn't this one, because the Pandemonium's locker minigame is 100 times more difficult because of how random and intense it is. It's so easy to mess up that one wrong mouse slip and you're done for. Thanks to the Pandemonium, now Pressure is at a 4-3, taking the lead back from Doors. Doors is gonna need to make the comeback here, so they are sending out their strongest unit. They are sending out the Figure. And in order to beat a boss, you gotta be a boss. So Searchlights is gonna be fighting back for Pressure and hopefully to win the point. Let's see which boss is gonna win in this epic boss battle. Now, in order to compare these two bosses, we're gonna compare them in both of their phases. So we're gonna compare Phase 1 Figure versus Phase 1 Searchlights versus Phase 2 Figure versus Phase 2 Searchlights. Searchlights Phase 1 makes you go to college, get a mechanical engineering degree, and then fix up these generators while making sure you stay on the low and he doesn't see you. Now, while this experience is absolutely terrifying, especially for the first time, its difficulty pales in comparison to the Figure's Phase 1 in the library. In this place, where most of you guys haven't probably been in years, you gotta find books that contain a secret code to the lock on the door, and then you gotta enter it and escape. But the Figure is also with you, so he makes this thing 10 times more difficult because you can't outrun him. The only way to really dodge him is to go into the closet and then play this little minigame. It's not looking so good for Searchlights here, but it's about to become even worse because Phase 2 Figure absolutely stomps Phase 2 Searchlights. For the Searchlights, he learns Shadow Clone Jutsu and gets 2 friends. But it's the same thing, just you gotta use your electrician's degree this time and fix some wires. Phase 2 for the Figure is just using that same electrician degree, but as if you had to work in hell. Because it's the same thing as the library, but finding elevator pieces and still staying super close to the closets because you cannot outrun him. So the Figure survives this reverse jumping by winning the 3v1 and showing you that quality over quantity. This ties the score back up. However, there's one last battle that decides this entire video. And that, of course, is the Battle of the Closeted Monsters. Hyde versus Puddles of Void Mass. I know what you guys were thinking. These two for the finale? This is gonna be epic. Anyways, these two are very similar monsters because they both decide not to come out of the closet. I could make a joke here, but I don't really know what to say. Hyde is much nicer than Puddles of Void Mass because he lets you stay in his establishment before kicking you out, whereas Puddles of Void Mass just decides to kill you straight up. But Puddles of Void Mass does only a single point of damage if you're playing with friends and they save you. But since I have none of those, he kills you straight up. It's much easier to accidentally run into Puddles of Void Mass than Hyde. It's because if you know what you're doing, you really won't ever have to experience Hyde anyway. So with the final epic battle being concluded, we have a winner with a final score of 5-4. Pressure. Now, I just want to take this moment to just say this was all for fun. Everything here is just my opinion. And these are both great games. And just because Pressure is the winner in my books, that doesn't mean it has to be in your books. You can write your book however you want. I just think Pressure is personally more difficult for me since I am a solo player. That's why I gave puddles of void mass. The point there, just keep the fact in mind that Doors is nearly 3 years old now, and Pressure came out this year. So Pressure is basically the new and improved Doors because it had so much more time to learn from what Doors had already done. And this video, if I worked hard enough, should be coming out before the Floor 2 update. So if you want to see me compare Floor 2 to Pressure, or Floor 2 to Floor 1, let me know in the comments below. And always, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe, because I spent a lot of time making this video and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.